Right, for Nutrien now, catching up with Blake Caruana. Firstly, welcome to Nutrien, mate. Welcome to the Nutrien experience.
Thank you, Paul. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's something different. We try to promote people that, I suppose, are selling horses. We've got to catch up with the people that purchase the horses as well, mate. And you were one of the first people I ran into on the Sunday morning at Warwick Farm complex 2 weekends ago.
That's it. You seem pretty busy, so I didn't want to hold you up too much.
I might have had the glass eyes on, mate. I might have had just a little bit going on. Firstly, before we get on to your purchase and the rest, how did you enjoy this experience, mate?
It was definitely a very pleasurable experience. Nutrien made me feel very welcome, and the complex itself is just out of this world. I really, it was more like the Magic Millions, wasn't it? I've never been to a Magic Millions, but I can imagine it'd definitely be clipping at its heels, anyways. And no, it was a very, very good experience, and I'd definitely be going again.
I think it's one of those things people need to go there. I was fortunate enough to be involved with them last year in Melbourne, so I sort of knew what to expect. But when you rock up, everything's green and white. There's Nutrien, the staff are dressed immaculately, but it's fun and inviting and enticing, isn't it, to be a part of it?
Oh, absolutely. The staff were all, you could tell they were all, they knew what they were doing, very professional. Even if equine wasn't their first, they're more experienced in agriculture and all that stuff. You can tell they definitely knew what they were doing with this standardbred business. And, even the way they went about their business with all the purchases, I was speaking to a number of people and they were all pretty pleased with the experience.
It's interesting. I'll get on to one part of that too with you in a second. The equine part of it, they're well and truly versed on. It's the standardbred section that it's their second year into it, but they're really taking gung ho. You went there to purchase, did you? And walked away with definitely one. And I believe there's a little story that you might have been told not to come home unless you bought that one home. Is there any truth to that rumor for a start?
Absolutely.
And did you only go to buy the one horse?
He was plan A. He was definitely what's the word? We were definitely he was the center of attraction. Anyways, that was the main reason we went. Look, we had a plan B, not as preferred as him, but definitely he was definitely the one we went for.
Yeah, definitely. So we're talking about lot number 40, which is the American Ideal, which looks after my sponsors in Woodlands. Don't you worry about that. You're a good man for that point of view. Out of the champion, well, not champion mare, Beninjurd. I always thought it was something else, the name, but it's actually Beninjurd because they have all their Benstud, and she unfortunately had a paddock incident.
Oh, is that where it comes from? Is it? Okay.
Yeah, so there's I'm a little bit like you, Blake. That's where it does come from. But of course, she is the mother of quite a few, but mainly Tough Tilly of recent years because, of what she's been able to capture with her awareness for the EB research. And I'm not even going to try and say the scientific word of it, but she's captured a lot of the imagination, but also Centenario, Some Dan, Lightning Dan, and of course she is a half to Philadelphia man. Brilliant family, outstanding colt. What was the first thing that caught your attention with this colt?
His eye. He had a very kind eye, and that's one of the main things I look for. Compared to some of the other ones I've seen, he was very well conformed. The way he went about his business, his mannerism was beautiful. The way he walked, the way he did everything. He was just, there was not much to fault about him anyways.
And when I say you purchased him, mum and dad as well. Harness racing's been in you guys' blood for a long time. Was dad as keen on him, or was it you pushing, or who was the most keen out of the pair of you, if there's such a word?
Oh, look, we were probably as keen as each other. Look, we weren't even planning to go until probably a week before. And then I had a brief look at the catalogue, and I said, gee, that Beninjurd's nice. And he was like, yeah, it would be nice to have, wouldn't it? So from then it was all systems go, really. We booked in flights and got onto M, and she was very helpful in everything. And we can't be more thankful for all her help. And yeah.
One of the criticisms, definitely from last year, that a lot of people said to me, and people have probably still continual to say, is how hard it is to register, how hard it is to get a bid card, and the likes. You organised this a week out. You didn't buy it last year's Nutrien sale, so this was your first foray into the Nutrien sale. How did you find that whole experience? And you just shook your head then, so I know the answer is going to be no, it wasn't that hard. But for people out there that say it's hard, what sort of feedback can you give them, Blake?
was very streamlined compared to other sales I've been to. It was definitely very streamlined. I rocked up on Sunday morning. I arrived in Sydney on the Saturday afternoon, but I didn't see Em and her team until Sunday morning. And I just rocked up, got my bid card in the space of probably 5 minutes, if that.
Yep.
If that. So it was a very streamlined experience, anyways.
And let's be fair. Did you say how much money you were going to spend, and you think that's why they dropped everything, or you didn't actually tell them you're going to spend until such time as that question got asked, or how did that process go?
Look, we didn't make that clear. Yep. We could have gone and bought, one of the $6,000-7,000 lots, and they were they would have been just as inviting and all that. A number of the other people I've spoken to, a couple of people didn't even buy anything, and they were treated just as well. So it's definitely, they accommodate for everyone.
That wasn't a trick question. That's more where I was getting at it, because I would imagine when there and Dad said to you got to bring a horse back, you would try and play poker as best as what you can. I mean, you said I had to steal eyes on us because I was running past you and a little bit busy. I think you had a little bit on your mind as well when when I first saw you. Would that be fair?
Look, I tried to keep cool, calm and collected. In the ring, I sat in between Emilio Rosati and Gene Feast, and I was like, all right, this is a good part of the ring to be in. They're more experienced and they know what's going on. And I thought, let's take a couple of leaves out of their book. Let's see how they go about their business on sales day. And it was a good learning curve anyways.
So next year, do you sit near them or you see them there and you take off to another area?
Oh, and then as soon as the auction came about, I sort of moved to a table forward to get in the zone a little bit. But before then, no, I tried to keep me cool and all was well.
I think the bid spotters and I think they did a great job. The auctioneers know their name. Was there a little bit of banter between you and Ian Carmichael? Is there any truth in that matter?
Yes, indeed there was. At about the 120 stage, I went to bid and he said, 140. I said, no, not 140, 130. And then afterwards, I think it was his daughter, Melina, came up to me and apologised. And I said, it's all right, no big deal. She said his hearing was a bit astray. So anyways, it's okay.
She was saying he might be a bit old.
Maybe a touch.
We don't have to worry because Ian has this rule that if an interview goes any longer than 8 minutes, he doesn't watch it. Once you get the 8 minute mark, so we're past that, so he won't listen to it anyway. When you rock up at Melbourne, you won't have to stress. Can you describe the feeling as soon as you get it? Like, I mean, winning races. Our first association, I think, Blake, we can both say was after. I can't actually think of the name of the horse, but when he won at Bendigo, you were only young, you're 15, 16, you're still at school, you're still in your school clothes actually. I can remember that. I know you were pretty excited that day. What were you like after purchasing this bloke?
I think on the record, I think that horse was Admiral.
Yes.
It was definitely a different feeling. We've won some races and all this, and it definitely it compared with those feelings. Anyways, it was a different emotion. Especially when I'm walking through the ring to go see him. I ran to the barn where he was, and everyone's just congratulating me and giving me smiles. I felt you feel like the king.
Yep. And they are a family, Benstud. It is a family affair. Anyone that was there, they basically get the biggest table in the restaurant every night because they have their family. And when I say their family, there is direct family, but there's also people that aren't part of their family that are. There's guys like Mickey gets up in the morning. He was the first one up every day and feeding them and things like that. I'm sure when you got back there, you were made feel very, very welcome, and they probably invited you into their home pretty much.
Oh, absolutely. As soon as I walked up, they were all in a crowd watching the sales on the TV. And I said, I just bought him. And they're all cheering and screaming and giving me hugs and all that. It was great. They make you feel really, really welcome. The amount of there was one girl there, I forget her name, one of Craig's daughters, and she showed me every horse. She was very accommodating. And even afterwards, maybe I didn't buy him. I was just walking, I was going about casual. And then I said, I bought him. And they were all just jumping for joy. And that was great.
That is really, really, I mean, that's what it's about. It's meant to be fun and the excitement. When did it hit you? When did it effectively hit you that you like, Nike Franco, he sold for equal, 150,000. Did you hang around and watch him, or did you take off once you'd sort of spent your money, you said, I'm out of here?
Yeah, practically. Yeah, I had a plane to catch at 6 o'clock, and so I had to get out of there quick, smart after him. So I hit the road at about 4:30. I don't think Nike Franco was on until a bit later. Um, so I watched him. I watched him online, absolutely, at the airport. But however, unfortunately, I couldn't stick around to see him. He was a nice horse too. I inspected him. He was a beautiful horse. And he was definitely one of the backup plans anyways.
Do you get anxious? Like, do you want to have the sailed topper? Does that make sense? Like, is it when you're watching him, you're thinking when he got to 150, you're saying, please no more, or please one more? Like, is there a line of which you want to go past it?
Look, that wasn't the plan. But look, these things happen. Everything's got variables. I thought I had it done deal at 110. If you watch the replay of the auction, which you have on your site there, at about 110 it stops for a little bit. I'm like, oh, all right, we might have him here, and then 120. Oh, jeez.
And that blows that part out. The auction, they made sure they looked after everyone in the lead up. Like you said there, you nearly had him at 110, but they did that for everyone. They gave everyone plenty of time to throw in another bid or two. Probably what you're saying just then, it's a bit frustrating. You ended up spending another 40,000. It could have been knocked down to you. But I suppose if you're on the receiving end, if you're someone that's selling a horse, it's key. It's great that they afford each of those horses the time.
Oh, absolutely. Look, they put a lot of hard work into these horses. I was on the Benstud Twitter account, and just the hard work they do. Like there was this little one that we bought, this Beninjurd here. They have him. They do float practice and everything as a weanling, and the amount of work they do is just it's unreal and extraordinary. So they're definitely deserving of all the credit and everything.
Now, at the end of it, Dane may have got your name a little bit construed. Did that worry you?
It was a little bit concerning, but you know what? It happens. These things happen. It's okay.
It is indeed. It's quite funny. I could get my tongue twisted around some of the best words, but Caruana just seems to be one of those ones that just rolls off the tongue for me. I don't know why. It might be Dad's influence. I might be too scared to get it wrong in case Dad comes after me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. It rhymes with some other words. Ones that I'm not going to say here. However, so you'd think it'd be a bit easier to get right, but that's okay. These things happen, and maybe next year he'll learn my surname, so it's okay.
Dane will knock it for 6. Don't worry about that. Just very, very quickly, you've got welcome to exclusive homes is what your dad and yourself are. You're a business that operates out of Rockbank. Am I right?
Yeah, we operate out of Rockbank and sort of work in all the surrounding suburbs and a bit further out. Melton, Bacchus Marsh, Ballarat, and it's a family business. My mum is the head and shoulders behind it, and my cousins and other supervisor, and we're all a family here, and try to accommodate for everyone.
Absolutely, Blakey. Well done. Congratulations on purchasing. No one needs to know that 7 Plus are giving me a monthly package that's not going to do anything. That's okay, mate. Thank you very much for joining me. Congratulations. Are we going to see you on April 3rd at the Oakland Junctions at the Melbourne Complex?
It's not a write-off yet. Anyways, we're definitely it's on the cards. Anyways, so we'll maybe go and have a crack, but we'll see how we go.
Well, if you do go there, make sure you chase me up, mate. We'll sit down and have a quick chat and just see where he's at and how he's going, and go from there, mate. So congratulations to you. Congratulations to Dad and Mum as well. I think it's great. You're going to train him?
Oh yeah, that's the plan. We'll have a crack at him. He's going to get broken in by Clinton McSwain, and we'll go from there. Yeah, we'll have a crack, maybe have some fun. Yeah, that's the plan.
We'll keep regularly updated. I might even meet you out at Clinton's one day, mate, when he's broken in. We'll see how he's progressing.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you so much.
All right, Blake. Thank you, mate. Thanks very much for joining me. Thanks very much for joining the Nutrien family as well, mate. I think it's great, and well done.
Our pleasure. Thank you so much.